guys, just a quick little video here. If you guys have been following me on Instagram, you know that I've been building a lot of spur straps lately. These are going out for a customer, and it's a rather large order, so I'm having to repeat the same flower carving pattern over and over again on, I think this order is for 5 different pair, and then I've got another group of spur straps with a different flower carving layout. But what I was going to mention, and I saw this posted the other day, was Tappoffs. What I've done in the past, and normally what you do is you take, and what I've done in the past, I guess, is take the layout and then line up my paper or my pattern on the spur strap itself, and then go ahead and trace the pattern on here. When you trace the pattern on here, it will leave an imprint on the leather that you can follow with your swivel knife, and you can go ahead and cut your pattern out with your swivel knife. But I was reminded the other day by another guy that I follow on Instagram that you can use Tappoffs, and Tappoffs are basically you take your layout, you do your swivel knife cuts in a piece, and at this stage you go ahead and you let the pattern dry out. Some guys will take their Tappoffs, and if they know they're going to leave them as Tappoffs, they'll take them and they'll leave them, let them dry out, or even put them in the oven to get them extremely dehydrated. So when you put them in the oven, it hardens the leather. You're not trying to cook the leather, you're just trying to dry it out to where it's pretty hard. And then that way, these ones here are some that I just knife cut. But these ones here are going to be designated as my Tappoff patterns. These ones have basically dried overnight, and what you'll do is take your Tappoff pattern. This is the dried one. This one here is the case leather that I'm getting ready to carve. And rather than going through all the trouble of tracing your pattern on, which takes quite a bit of time, and you're trying to save a little time here, I got my dried Tappoff. I've got my flat-faced, some people call them a Tappoff hammer. I don't know, this is just a general hammer that's an Osborne tool that I bought years ago. Anyway, it's flat-faced. It doesn't have any gouges or anything in the face. I use this specifically on leather and leather only. So just take your Tappoff pattern, and what you're doing is you're tapping your Tappoff pattern. That's why they call it a Tappoff pattern, right? Being careful not to let it move. You gotta hold it in place while you're tapping. And you take it off, and what it does is it transfers that pattern over to your case leather. I don't know if you can see that, but the pattern is faintly transferred into the leather. And from there, you can go and do your swivel knife cuts. Saves you quite a bit of time over tracing the pattern on with pencil, or some people use a stylus like this. The Tappoff is the way to go if you're repeating the same pattern over and over again on a certain piece that you're working on. So the other thing I would probably add is like this leather right here. It's already been cased, but this is Herman oak leather. What I would do is make sure that your leather is wet enough for it to take the tap off. So in other words, the surface of the leather has got to be soft enough to take the tap off impression. Right now, this area right here is the only area that's going to take the impression. Over here, if you try to tap it off right now, it's not going to take too well and you're not going to see it. So what I would do here is just go ahead and spray this down again, or take a sponge and just wet it down a little bit again before I run the tap off on it. Alright, hopefully that's helpful and you got something out of this.